Workflow. Finally, we'll just a quick overview of how the workflow works in the system. We'll pick this Alison Mortimer record again. We'll see that in the activity log there's no activities so far have happened. We've got a few logs in there of things we've done with this person. And what we're going to do is add this candidate to a job that we created earlier in the system with a company called Training Institute or Institutions. We've got a job, I've got a filter on there. We've got a job there for the proprietor role at the Training Institute, and the hiring manager was David Train. So let's go back to the candidate. We're looking at Alison Mortimer's record, job activity. I'm going to click on the plus button. Now, there's two ways to do this. You can go to the job and choose a candidate, or you can go to a candidate and choose a job. So click the plus button. We're going to choose a job. So now I can filter out of this list for the companies if we want. So I will. I'll just filter for what was it? It was a training, wasn't it? A training instance. I'll just put training, and we get a filter now for the proprietor job. Obviously, if it filters for job title or company, so I'm going to choose the Training Institute. And in the background, you'll notice that it's logged against Alison Mortimer's record, the job number of this particular job, the company, and the role. Okay, so what we're going to do, this little pop-up from this pop-up window, this is the job activity window or the workflow, where every single action that happens between a client and a candidate once you start sending CVs or setting up interviews, this is where it's all logged. So to get any process happening, you just click on the tab that you want for that process. So what you're looking at here is the job details and the candidate details and some more information about the job, all laid out in front of you. To set up an internal interview, you go to the interview tab. To send the CV to the client, you click on the CV send, external interviews or making offers, so forth. Just click on the tab you'd like, and then choose the function button to carry out that process. So in this case, we're going to send the CV to the candidate, the client. Click on the CV send tab, send CV. And automatically an email will be set up going to David, who's the hiring manager of this job at hrspro.com, so the email's already there. The template document's already been chosen, the attached CVs. Please, further to the conversation, find the candidate for the role of proprietor. Please find attached the CV of Alison Mortimer. So it's automatically put in that information. Again, I'm going to choose my mail app. Now this would have been defaulted in the system already. I'll switch off my signature because I don't have one. You notice in the link area it's going to link it automatically to, even though the email's going to David, it's going to link it automatically to Alison, and it's automatically going to attach any CVs that belong to Alison for the email, CV for emailing. So let's send that email now, and again this will load your email package up, create a new document for that email in the background, and have it ready to go in the system, all in your drafts ready to go. And then you'll be asked if you want to create a follow-up to do on alert for that particular action, as we did before. So that's the email, that's already gone. If we close out this workflow, we'll now see that we've got the job activity, send CV to client, Training Institute, so forth, and a tick saying the first stage of this process has happened and that you've sent, the progress is send CV to hiring manager. Second stage, we can open this up if the client came back to us and said, yeah, wonderful. I'll show you actually before I do that in the job, which we can go to by clicking on the triangle next to the link. In the job, we now have a candidate that's been put forward for this job, Alison Mortimer. And again, the same progress has happened. So by clicking on the arrow in this job activity, it will load the job activity window again, where we can create the interviews. So we had the CV send, and we've got a tick up there, say CV send's done. We've selected the email, and that's all been ticked. Creating an interview, go to the interview tab, create a new interview, add the interview date, so we'll say it's tomorrow, the interview times at 10:30, the interview type, it's a client interview, the first of the client interviews, and I'm going to link it to the hiring manager, David, of this particular job, and obviously you can create the interview confirmation letters on the right hand side here, which I'll do. So this will set up the emails ready to go to send them to the client. So in this case it's the candidate first. So hi Alison, congrats on getting the job. There are all the delete details of the job. And again, I'll use my Mac email, and I won't use a signature, and we'll send that one off. So that one will go off, and this one's opening up my email package again, which will put in the information as we've requested. Hold on, I've got to close out this window now. Oops, sorry, it won't let me close out these windows. And then again, you can create a to-do for every single action you do. I won't in this case. And now we've got the second interview. This one's now going to David, and we've got a slightly different format for the template that's been chosen, but again it's got the details of the interview and the time sitting there. And again, I'm going to choose my mail application. You need to set up your mail application as a default, otherwise you will have some issues when you send the email. And again, you can send that email off, and it will do the same thing as before, loads up your email, populates all the information there, and you're ready to go. So I won't create a follow-up to do again, but that's how you create the first part of setting up your interviews. We look at the job activity now. There are two things there. The job activity will show that an interview has now been created and the date and time of that interview, who it's with. You've got the ticks of the various processes that have been happening. The same's happening to the candidate, so we'll go to Alison Mortimer's record, and in her job activity the same information's been tagged there. Look at the comms log now. We've got a lot more information against there, because these are the interview confirmations and the CV sends. Even the emails that have been sent to the hiring manager of the job has been logged against the candidate. So let's go back into the confirmation, the job activity, and this time we're going to create an offer letter or placement. You can just do it either way. So let's just say in this case it's a permanent placement. The potential start date for the job's the 29th. We've got a specific salary there. You can add any extras in there. So for example, you could add car allowances and bonuses and things like that, benefits. And then we'll send an offer details letter, which I'm going to do now. So we're sending a letter. This time obviously it's the offer letter. Again, it's chosen the template for the offer letter, populated all the information automatically. I'm going to choose my email package, switch off my signature again, and send that email. So that email is now ready to go as well. Populates there. Sorry, you've got to excuse this information in my emails. I'll close these down as well, hide those. Say no, and again the information will automatically pop up saying, do you want to update Alison's record here? Because obviously the offer from the company to Alison is now ready to go. So you can populate Alison's record to say that she's now part of the training company. I'm going to say no at the moment, and then you get the offer to make a placement out of this, which will set the record as being placed. So I'll say yes, and what that now does, if you have a little look at this process, you'll now see that we've got an offer's been created, a placement's been created, and with the various information that we have stored. Just by clicking one button, we sent an email that confirmed an offer that had been accepted, placement was automatically created. The whole shebang has been done in one go. Every single activity is logged here against the processes, the history. Close out of this window, and we'll now see that the process for this job is that the offer was accepted by the candidate. Go to the main area. We'll now this is of the candidate, and we'll see that let's go to the job. In the job, the same thing's happening here. We're looking at the job. We'll see that in the job activity, the offer's been accepted by the candidate. We can now close this job if we'd like. So the job is now closed. And we'll notice that in the placement, we have a placement for Alison's record there. So she's now been placed. We can now create an invoice if we'd like from the placed record by just clicking on the placement tab and then creating an invoice from the back office. So you'll see that if there was an invoice, it would be sitting there in the back. These are the details of the particular job. What's happened, the percentage, sorry, should be 0.25. Put put that in, which gives you a £7,000 placement. If it was an agreed fee, you'd have an agreed figure there. You can share this placement with 2 other contacts, so it's not 100% placement. It could be 50%. It could be shared with Wayne Rooney, for example. We share it at 50-50, or you can change the split, and it will show what the commissions due for each person would be based on, or the split for that, what the commissions will be calculated on this particular placement. So close that window down, and we'll now see that we've got a completed workflow process from start to scratch, all logged. The job has logged all the letters and communications that have happened.